that's coming in, you dig? It's kind of wild and definitely disturbing, you dig? Doodie Low, OTF, Lil Durk artist, Doodie Low, his ex-girlfriend, basically, she explains the rumors and explains a lot. Y'all gotta watch from the beginning to the end. I'm not gonna get into all that. Little disturbing, you dig? Gets crazy. She says she went outside, found the boats in the grass after her son. A lot of details, you dig? Did say she pulling. Dig. The case is open. She did go to the police, put police on Doodie Low, you dig? What y'all think? Cloud chasing at its finest. She does explain the whole situation. Y'all gotta watch from the beginning to the end, you dig? Explains going making a report on Doodie Low. Doodie Low definitely keep your head up, you dig? Finna get in slow way, you dig?
Did you like it? Were you guys playing? Like, what were y'all doing? I don't get it. And he said, I said, how did you feel? Like, how did you feel? He said, I felt sad. I said, why? He said, because no one had ever done that to me before. So I'm like what? Like, then it clicked. Like the pooping in the pants, the insecurity. He felt violated. Baby Alex. What? I'm confused. I called David. He was the first nigga I called. Because he was the closest one to me that was dealing with this the whole time with me. I say, Wesley just told me what happened. He said, what he say? I said, he said that, I don't know. He said, baby Alex put something up in him. I'm talking like that. When I get like this, I stutter and shit. And I'm like, I don't know. He's saying Alex put something up him, and I'm so confused. I don't get it. Like, I don't even know what to think right now, and I don't get it. I need to talk to her mom. I'm freaking out, crying. Like, heartbroken. I'm telling him, bro, I can't breathe. I'm crying because all I heard was how he felt about it. So I knew it was serious. And then all the other signs, it clicked. So I'm in my head thinking, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't get it. I'm telling him, I don't get how she did that. Like, a 3-year-old, like, she's a little girl, and my son is almost 6. How does a little girl put something up you unwillingly? As a child, my son would have had to been bent over with his cheeks out or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would have had to have been spreading. There's no way that physically a little girl could just go up behind my son and dig in his pants and stick anything up him. It didn't make sense without him pushing her off. It didn't make sense. I'm asking him, how did she do that to you? It's not making sense. But I'm not questioning my son. I'm just listening. I ain't never questioned him. I never said I don't believe. I let him talk. So I tell David on the phone, what he said about initially being Alex. And I remember when I first said Alex, he was like, who was Alex? That little girl who was there? And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, see, I told you something happened to him. I told you I know those signs because somebody in my family, that happened to them before. See, that's why I asked you if he's been around anybody new. And he did. So he's the only one out of everybody of my family that ever suggested that my son was touched. He had said it because he said, has he been around anybody new? And I knew what that implies. And I was like, no, he's only around the 5 people and all of them but one are girls. So I'm like, no, like nobody touched Wesley. He don't be nowhere. And that was it. I'm saying I never thought about it. But he was the only one. He goes, see, I told you something happened to him. I told you I know those signs. Somebody in my family because it happened to them. That's why I told you to stop beating on him. That's why I told you just talk to him because I knew something was wrong with him. You a good mother. Y'all gonna be good. So he goes, I'm gonna call you back. Click. I didn't hear from that fuck nigga for 2 weeks. Now, mind you, September 27th, I did break up with him. But I'm telling you in a story that he was my first person I called. So clearly that means we were still talking. No, we weren't officially dating, but he was still very much so involved in my life to where he was the first person I called about this. So for him to say, I'm going to call you back, and I didn't hear from him for 2 weeks, that whole time, nothing. Every time I ever try to leave him, he'd be on my Instagram lives. He'd be blowing up my phone when I'm on Instagram live. He'll be subtweeting me. He'll be DMing me, texting me, calling me. There has never been a time that this man has ever stepped away and walked away from me for more than 3 days. 2 weeks after I just tell you, somebody you care about, somebody whose son you care about, I just tell you, I'm crying, I'm heartbroken. I tell you what just happened to my son. You tell me, go call me back. We're going to be okay. You go call me back. And I don't hear from you for 2 weeks. You just didn't get back to me. That's what he told his mom. I just didn't get back to her. You didn't get back to me? Now, respectfully, I didn't text I didn't text him because I found out that night the whole complete true story. So I'm not finna text him when I know what the fuck you did to my son. And see, you gotta be smart. I went to the police as soon as I got the story, okay? I can't jeopardize the case. I'm not gonna jeopardize the case and let him know I got the cops on you. So what? So he can do what he's doing now? What he's doing now is I'm getting threats. I'm getting threats that it's not safe for me to be in my house. Niggas is trying to expose my OnlyFans pages and shit. So that's what I'm going through right now. I wasn't gonna let him know that I have police on your ass until it's about time that you about to find out. Cause you about to find out. You about to find out. I don't give a fuck with who want to say what. Just give it a couple of days. Just be patient. Like I had to be patient. Be patient. It's coming. It's coming. Like I don't whatever. So anyways, 2 weeks, didn't hear from him, right? So boom, back to my son in the story. Back to Alex. So boom. Call Alex's mom. I call my sister. I'm like, what's he said? Da, 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 da. I'm throwing a fit. I'm at the crib. I'm yelling at everybody. Because everybody was telling me, no, there's no way Alex did that, Brittany. Alex didn't do that, Brittany. No. And I'm like, so you trying to say my son is lying? So I'm really stepping on everybody. I'm going hard because I never questioned him. And everybody was like, we're not saying he's lying. We know something happened to him. We know, everybody knows what he was dealing with. But they were saying, it's not Alex, Brittany. It couldn't have been Alex. And everybody, my sister's mom, she say, maybe he's covering for somebody. I didn't want to hear that shit because it's like, what are y'all talking about? That's what he said to me. I'm finna stand by what my son said. But before we attack that character, I guess I'll finish the how I found out exactly what happened. I get home from picking him up from school that day. After he told me about Alex, I talked to David. I drive home. So when I drive home, I'm talking to him some more. I asked him what he did, whatever. I don't really want to get into all the details. I don't like talking about that shit. But he said he pushed whatever he used, whatever Alex, because originally it was Alex. So he pushed it out. And I say, so what'd you do with it? He say, I hid it. I say, where'd you put it? He said, I threw it outside. So I say, outside? Go and walk me outside. So I walked outside. I got the cameras. October 1st. It was, I believe, 6 or 7. In the evening. I walk outside and he says clearly, I threw it over there. I stand where my son said he threw it. I'm walking in the grass. Mind you, in my head, I'm looking for a little spiky thing that is silver and gold. So, walking around the grass. Boom. I see these screws on the floor. I wasn't even going to pick them up. But that's the only thing that was on the ground. So I pick it up and I say, Wesley, you wasn't talking about this. He said, yeah, it was that. I said, no, it wasn't. I said, yeah, it was that. Broke down. 2 hours. 2 hours I sat outside. For 2 hours outside of my backyard. Front door wide open. Had flies all up in my crib. For 2 hours. Because he walked me to where he said he put it. I have no reason to... There's just... how he knew that little spiky thing was going to be outside in the grass and he can walk me straight to it. Broke my heart when I saw that it was screws. I'm thinking it was like a little toy or something, because he said it was Alex. So it had to be I'm looking at these screws like something not right. I'm not questioning the screws though. Because that's where he said he pushed up out of him. That's where he said he put it, and that's where he walked me to. So I wasn't questioning the screws. I'm looking at the screws. Because the screws, I don't know what the screws look like. And I'm not going to show y'all because it's in evidence. But the screws was basically like tied together. Like it was three screws like this, but it was tied like that. Like they were like this. And there was like a gold, like 2 gold, like... I don't know what it is. Like why I don't know what it was, but it was like a little wire, and it was on the nails or on the screws. You can tell that around it it was burned. Like, you could tell that the way that it was done was by fire. Like, it was just, you hold the screws, I guess. I mean, I'm not a carpenter and I don't make shit with my tools, but the screws also, good fact to know, came from my toolbox. I have a toolbox with those same exact screws, except they're individual screws. There is no screws that are tied together. And besides that, my son did actually see him make it, because he made them in front of him and baby Alex in the kitchen. He was in my kitchen, and he put them damn screws together in front of the kids. And Wesley said, he asked him, what are you going to do with that? And he said, I'm going to do something with it. He said, my son said he had a blue lighter, and he was tying the screws together. That's his interpretation of what David was doing in my motherfucking kitchen. So I'm looking at this like somebody, first of all, somebody made this. Second of all, these screws don't come like this. So it's like, where the fuck did it come from? And then why would a little girl put this shit up his ass? Even if it was her. Let's just say, if y'all want to say that it was her. Screws? A 3-year-old? Screws? Screws? What 3-year-old is gonna pick up and I asked him, I said, Wesley, would you ever put this up? Somebody said no. A 3-year-old? Screws? So I'm like, But I'm still not questioning him. I showed the screws.